Welcome to News9 Mediaverse, and you are watching On Point with me. In today's edition, we will discuss the tunnel rescue operation taking place in Uttarkashi. It's been 10 days since the 41 workers have been trapped inside this tunnel. An endoscopic camera sent us the first visuals of the trapped workers inside this place. Earlier today, small progress was also made when a 6-inch pipeline was installed to supply the workers with food, medicines, and several agencies have been deployed for various tunneling works at the site. So how long will it be before the rescue mission manages to free the workers? What are the challenges faced by the rescue teams? Before I take you to the subject matter experts, let me take you through the details. And details will tell you it's a humongous task. It's not easy. The morphology, the geography of the Himalayas, so many things are involved. So today, endoscopic camera provides the first visuals of the trapped workers. 1. Cooked food delivered to workers via 6-inch pipe. Cooked food. More than that, DRO robotics team joins rescue effort. So it's not a small thing. It's a big effort done by them. DRDO robotics team is there. IF airlifts another 36 tons of critical equipment. So IF is also doing its job. Operation expected to take 4-5 days and more. So it's not going to be a small task. It's a big task. And if we take you to the details, the part of the ambitious Char Dham project, that's the most important thing. It's part of the ambitious Char Dham project. That's one. Bi-directional 2-lane 4.5 kilometer long tunnel. That's the length of the tunnel. Being developed by NHIDCL for rupees 853 crores. So it's a big project. It's not a small project. It's a huge project. Has an excavated diameter of 14 meters. So there is space. This will cut Uttarkashi Yamunotri distance by 26 kilometers. So it's part of the Char Dham thing. It's not a small thing. Barkot and Silkyara are the two ends of the tunnel. 90% of the tunnel being excavated in phyllite, a very weak rock. Now that's a very problematic. This is the big problem. This is the big problem area. Why I'm saying this is the big problem area? Because this is phyllite. It's a weak rock. It's not easy. Horizontal boring from the Silkyara end using an auger boring machine. Earlier this didn't work. This didn't work. Horizontal boring is now being succeeded by a vertical tunnel rescue machine on site, which means it's going to be done like this. So there is a machine which is going like this. Then there is a machine which is working like this. Then there are small pipelines which are going inside. So using vertical tunnel rescue machine on site, very important. Completed the excess road in 48 hours. BRO. So BRO also working overtime. THDC constructing a 480 meter rescue tunnel from the Barakot end. Imagine the logistics, number of people, so many agencies involved for the 41 workers. Because time is running out, we have to understand that 10 days. And more than anything, it's psychological. We have to understand and empathize with the workers. They are alone. They are enveloped by their own silence. They have to, there's a word in Hindi called hausla. It's something which has to be high. And then the sort of food they eat, the energy they reserve, the oxygen they breathe. It's a tough thing. It's not an easy thing. My heart goes out to the families of the workers who are outside and cannot help them. That's the toughest part. There's a problem, but you can't do anything. So you're dependent on others. So transporting machinery for micro tunneling through horizontal drilling. Stuff is being thrown in from Gujarat and other parts of the country. Mobilizing machinery for vertical boring from India, United States of America. Entire Prime Minister office is active on this. Dispatch to robots to aid in the rescue effort. I'm giving you all those details to make you understand that this is a huge operation. Brought in critical equipment using C-17, C-130J Super Hercules aircraft. These are not civilian aircrafts. This is military. These are military aircrafts I was talking about. Police, SDRF, NDRF involved in rescue operations. Multi-agency operations. bid to create a passage via 900 millimeter wide mild steel pipes. So imagine so many things have to be done. It's just not you need to bore a tunnel, you have to keep them safe there. Breathing oxygen, horizontal boring using auger drilling machine by THDCL. There are number of details in this rescue plan. RVNL carrying out perpendicular horizontal micro tunneling from left side. From the left side. IAF has airlifted 36 tons of material. RVNL carrying out perpendicular horizontal micro tunneling from the left side. Not an easy task. Vertical tunneling by SJVNL to create a 1.2 meter wide hole from above. This is proving to be even tougher than the Thai rescue mission, where children were there. Scuba divers were involved. One lost the life also. Now, narrow rescue tunnel towards Barcode end being by ONGC. And road cutting and supportive work by BRO. Drift tunnel by joint team of so many agencies, Army, Coal India. Now, I'll take you through these graphics a little later. But before that, something even more important happened. Member, National Disaster, the body, Lieutenant General Atta Hasnain, he held a press conference in Delhi, briefed the entire national media, the world, about the challenges, the sort of stuff they are doing. Let's listen it to him.
ये टनल जो है दो तरफ से इसको अटैक किया जा रहा है और एक तरफ तकरीबन 200-250 मीटर अंदर ये केव इन हुआ है और उसके वजह से जो वहां पर वर्कफोर्स थी 41 वर्कर जो थे दे हैव गॉट ट्रैप्ड इनसाइड बिकॉज फर्दर बियॉन्ड 2 किलोमीटर तक आगे जहां से ये कोलैप्स हुआ है 2 किलोमीटर तक वो इलाका वो जो टनल है वो अंदर बना हुआ है और उस तरफ से दूसरी तरफ से बरकोट की तरफ से ये अटेम्प्ट हो रहा है ऑल्सो कंस्ट्रक्शन चल हो रहा है मगर उधर भी अभी तक थ्रू एंड थ्रू कम्युनिकेशन जो था टनल का वो नहीं मिला था अभी तक मिलाप नहीं हुआ था सो दैट एंड इज ऑल्सो क्लोज्ड अलग अलग एजेंसीज हैं एनडीआरएफ है आईटीबीपी है आर्मी इंजीनियर्स हैं एसडीआरएफ है उत्तराखंड की फायर और इमरजेंसी सर्विसेज हैं बॉर्डर रोड्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और बेशुमार और टेक्निकल एजेंसीज जो भारत सरकार के साथ मायना रखती हैं वो वहां पर इस वक्त काम कर रही हैं बेशक 10 दिन के अंदर अलग अलग हालतें पेश आई हैं वहां पर यह एक बड़ी चुनौती का काम है व्हेन अ टनल रेस्क्यू टेक्स प्लेस इट्स अ वेरी सीरियस एंड अ वेरी चैलेंजिंग एफर्ट जो इसके अंदर जाती है इंटरनेशनल कंसल्टेशन भी हुआ है यहां तक कि 3 या 4 कंसल्टेंट्स जो हैं बाहर से इंटरनेशनल एक्सपर्ट्स वो भी साइट पर आए हैं उन्होंने भी अपनी सलाह वहां पर दी है
And on this discussion, in the studio joins me my input editor Brijesh Pandey, Urmi Goswami, environment journalist, Dr. Ravindra Kumar, Chief Scientist, Central Road Research Institute, CRRI, Dr. Naveen Kumar Bhatnagar, former DIG, NDRF, and Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Secretary, Urban Development, GEOI, and Chairman, Smart Cities Technical Committee. But first to you, Brijesh, the Prime Minister office, came.
Yes. See,
intervened.
Yeah.
What happened?
See, I think, the Prime Minister was in regular touch with the Chief Minister. They're speaking almost on a daily basis. Bhaskar Kulbe was formerly with the Prime Minister's office. He's parked there overseeing the entire the rescue operation which is going on. The reason why the PMO had to step in is to, because there are state center and international coordination which has to be done. And I think they are the one who are doing a very effective coordination, and everybody is praying and hoping that, all those 41 laborers who are trapped inside this tunnel can be rescued safely. It has been quite a while, but I think every passing day comes up with a new ray of hope. And today, when we got to know that that food has been passed on, and looks like that in next 4-5 days we might get to hear good news soon, because today was the first day when we get to see their visuals of how they are inside that tunnel, how trapped they are, the way they have been surviving for 10 plus days. So it was a welcome sight in the morning. ray of hope, if I may say so.
Okay, let me go to Dr. Bhatnagar. Dr. Bhatnagar, why so much time was taken? A particular reason in context of technology, morphology? Can you take our viewers through it?
Yeah, so time taken due to that obstruction in the tunneling system. So due to that heavy rock was there, and the work was stopped. So anyhow, from 5 ways we are doing our efforts to go inside and make the way. How we can make the way to rescue the people stuck there inside since last 10 days. So anyhow, efforts are being made, and machines are doing their job very well. And today is a very good sign and hope that when we saw the people in a good condition and they are talking to us and all the amenities were provided to them. So I'll sure that within day or two we will achieve the target, and the work is going on with full swing and need not to worry. Our PMO is taking care about it, as well as the state government and the agencies involved in this thing. But as far as NDRF is concerned, so we are highly skilled. We are waiting for the piping system. As and when pipe will go with the near to the our target area, immediately our men will go there and they will take out all the people one by one very safely. So need not to worry. With have a great heart and hope and pray from the God, and naturally we will be succeeded. It's a matter of hardly 1 or 2 days. Yeah. Take care. Yeah.
Dr. Sudhir Krishna, if you recall, you were there with me on the second day when I hosted this program. It was a small part of the national front page at that point of time. It came like a small one-column report, and we spoke about Char Dham project, we spoke about the tunneling issue. Keeping in mind the sequence of last 10 days, the spurt has come in the last 48, 72 hours. What's your assessment in context of the last 10 days? What happened? Suddenly now every agency is there, which is very good. I really don't want to critically analyze anything, but I really want to know what happened on the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Did we lose those days, sir?
I think it's very difficult to say whether we lost those days, because efforts were going on, and I think difficult to pass judgment in such a situation.
And the reason why I chose to ask this question to you, because you were the only person there on my show, the only guest.
No, that's okay.
And that was the day second.
But I think, no, that's right. Thing is, I would not like to demoralize people by saying something that they did not work hard. People are working hard, all right. But I would say that lessons must be noted carefully for the future, because in this present situation, what best is possible is being done. And if something we think looking back, then looking back is only to be not for criticizing, but for finding a way for the future. Because in Himalayas, such developmental activities are going on and on and on. More and more roads are being built. More and more activities are going on for tunneling or cutting the rocks and making roads, wider roads, flattening the undulating terrain to allow speedier movement of vehicles, allow water to be redirected into the tunnel and so on. So we have to think on those things. This case, obviously, some good news should come, and I'm hopeful it will come. Only my anxiety is that too many cooks should not, I hope it will not happen. There's somebody who is guiding at the spot, everybody coordinating with everybody. I'm sure they must be doing all that. But very great anxiety for me is that while the NDRF, SDRF are doing excellent job, and they have always done, I have noted. But my anxiety is, what are the planners doing? What are the regulators doing for the Himalayan region?
Exactly.
Is there somebody regulating the development in Himalayan areas? Is somebody knowing what is going on in the Himalaya, what ought to go on?
Exactly.
That is the lesson we have to look for. I think that is very important for us to work on that side by side. While our all attention, efforts, and wishes should be there for the people who are trapped, and they must come out sooner than later. But then we have to equally, if not more significantly, work on finding what all has happened, what is going on. It is not a singular case. We have got series of incidents of tectonic activities, of land subsidence, landslide, and what else can happen. Everything is happening in the Himalayas, which is giving us one caution note after the other. Should we not take note of all these notes of caution which nature is giving to us? When we are trying to disturb the natural geology, geomorphology, we want to extract something from nature. I don't know what is the great hurry in trying to reach from one dham to another in a shorter time. We want to reach from one dham to another in half hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. What is the great hurry? Why can't we move? See, Himalaya has a pace. Why can't we move and live with the Himalayan pace? Why should we use the Indo-Gangetic plain surface speed and width of road? Why should we impose that in the Himalayan undulation? These are the things we must work on. Otherwise, one problem comes, definitely our people, our great country, we have got capacity to overcome such challenges. No doubt we will. But we must learn the lesson. That's very, very critical for us.
Dr. Sudhir Krishna, your words will be like music for many of those who have been saying this about Himalayas. Let me go across to Urmi Goswami. Urmi, is this issue larger? Are we missing the woods for the trees when we just say it's a tunnel issue? It's not a bigger issue. Are we just missing the big point here?
Well, I'll begin by echoing Dr. Krishna. He's very right in pointing out that this is the time to look sort of backward and forward and think about the way we plan. He mentioned subsidence, and the subsidence at Joshimath. But the fact of the matter is that in 1976, a report was prepared that told us exactly what we had to do. So we make these reports and they lie there and we ignore them. I think the time has come to stop ignoring what we know. So what needs to be done is also known. Now, on the balance of it is that do we need more? Do we need roads? Yes, you probably need. Maybe not this road. You may need some other road because these are you are ultimately going to access border areas. You will need them for other purposes. But we need to rethink about the way we use roads. Does it mean that whenever you have a road, you have to populate it with cars? Today, think about travel out of Delhi, or think about even travel in Delhi. Look at the way we use cars, when actually we need other forms of transport, maybe mass public transport. In this case, use trains, maybe use buses, where you actually reduce the burden on the road. And in the Himalayas, because it's such a fragile ecosystem, you have to be doubly careful. So we need to actually do two things. One, assess where we are building. So yes, you can't build the way you build in the plains. Two is you have to realize why you're building. And three, the most important thing, I think, as people who use the road, we too need to be more careful. Just because we feel like going somewhere doesn't mean you get into a car and take your car out. And that keeps happening. You're right, this is not an isolated event. If you remember, every summer we see these photographs of bumper to bumper cars going up in the hill stations. This is the same ecosystem. It can't take it.
Correct. And before I go to Mr. Dr. Kumar, let me play out those visuals. If the viewers have not understood it, this was the first reaction. These are the people inside. These are the workers inside. A part of the area is lit. They are standing. This is a robotic camera. So sort of a count is being done. These are the first visuals which were relayed today.
ये कौन है? ये विश्वजीत है। उसके बगल वाला बस हटाओ कैमरा सब हटा दो।
सारे लोग ठीक है तो कैमरे में अपने आप को दिखाएं, हाथ खड़ा करें, अच्छे से मुस्कुराएं, हम तुम्हारे पास जल्दी पहुंचेंगे, घबराए नहीं। हाँ, कैमरे को पास से धीरे धीरे बाहर निकाल निकाले और सभी को दिखाएं।
Let me just give out the latest Uttarkashi update that has come to our viewers. This has been given by the Government of India. The 6-inch food pipeline laid yesterday at the Silkyara tunnel in Uttarkashi has become fully functional. Good news. About 5 to 10 kilos of each of different varieties of fruits like apples, oranges, sweets, lime, etc. and 5 dozen bananas have been successfully delivered inside. Imagine, you have to quantify for, it's not, imagine, to say you are quantifying for stuff like that. In addition, packets of medicines, salt, electrol have been sent. Preparations are now being afoot to send cooked food like khichdi, roti, sabzi. Other rescue attempts continue as explained during the media briefing. So good news has come. Coming to you, Dr. Kumar. These are updates which need to be shared to keep the morale of the families outside up. But when we tunnel, when we create a road, isn't there a study done, sir, before we tunnel through a big mountainous system like that, its ability to sustain boring? Isn't that part and parcel of the recce which happens before you bore through?
Whenever we construct the roads or tunnel, the basic understanding is that whatever the geotechnical investigation or whatever geotectonic investigations, that are the important point is to be taken care. If there is what type of soil is there, what type of background is there. So for that, there are several tests are assigned, and these tests are mandatory to be done before construction. So in spite of all these guidelines are there, I hope that there might be something happened that has collapsed because of some of the reasons, that proper investigations might have not done at proper locations. So I from the point of technical angles, what I can say that proper investigation of geotechnical investigations and geotectonic investigations are required. Apart from that, drainage is one of the issues. Drainage problem are severe in the Himalaya regions, and many of the places we are not able to construct the roads because the whole mountain is moving. That might be a surprise for you and viewers also.
Dr. Ravindra, if you look at these visuals, the water, the water, the humidity, the wetness, if I am correct, is even visible. Even in the tunnel, the dripping water was visible through those cameras. It's visible.
Yeah, that's what I told you. The drainage is one of the issues that we have to look into these aspects. Drainage, geotechnical investigations, geotectonic investigations. So what happened in Josimas also, that's the issue of the drainage. If you don't know how where your water is flowing, so again the problem will be there. So proper investigations, proper mapping, proper understanding of the rocks, all things are important when you go for the construction. Apart from that, construction zone safety is one of the protocol that has to be followed. Normally, there are guidelines, set procedures to follow the construction zone safety. But many times, because of some reason or others, they don't follow any spirit. So that is one of the important point when you do any construction. So we should have some parallel evacuation plan. So in such an incident, if you have followed the proper guideline of construction rules, probably maybe it might be not such a delay in solving these issues. So all these together, apart from technical investigation, construction zone safety management, already technology are there. If you see in the metro, Delhi metro and all other metro, they are doing a fantastic job. So it's not the case, but only issue is with the Himalaya. When you are going with the Himalaya, you need to detailed about the detail about the characteristics. Because Himalaya is fragile mountain, and also already they are in the zone 5. So we have to look into the landslide aspect. We have to look into the earthquake aspect.
Okay.
We have to look into the drainage aspect. We have to look into the rainfall aspect. So all together we have to see, and together we can look into how we can solve one by one. So that's what is the requirement from the technical point.
Okay, there's also one issue is like, as Urmi was saying, and as before that, Dr. Sudhir was saying, that, it's not that you don't know what to do. It is the criminal neglect. You know, it's an absolute insane desire to tinker with what should never be tinkered with. And you know, I completely agree with Mr. Sudhir that, you know, suppose if I'm driving from Delhi to Dehradun, you know, instead of 5 hours, if I reach Dehradun by 4:30, what exactly do I stand to gain? I mean, these are all, you know, I can understand if a car marketing company is using this gimmick to sell cars, you know, that my car is faster. But for somebody like, you know, I have reduced your journey from Delhi to Dehradun by half an hour, 45 minutes, and it makes a hell lot of changes in your word. I mean, it's unimaginable. And the problem is that, you know, incident after incidents, trust me, you know, God forbid it should not be done, but 6 months down the line also we would be discussing the very same thing, talking about the very same things about, you know, how no soft safety audit is done, no proper audit is done, how waste disposal when you're making a tunnel or constructing a dam should have been done, how debris should not be thrown into the river, escape route should be there should be early warning system. I mean, a whole host of issues has been written about, talked about, debated, and not by journalists, you know, by people who are eminently qualified. And yet when it comes to construction, all those safety measures are just simply brushed aside, leading to this kind of you know, calamity in which for 12 days or 10 days plus, you know, everybody is looking at hoping for some good news to emerge.
Okay, now let me play out the bite of the couple of experts. Umi, you wanted to come in?
Just wanted to say one thing, you know, very often it's true that sometimes the safety measures or sort of support systems are not done. But there is yet another thing. It's not just about whether you will, there is a benefit to somebody reaching half an hour faster. My question really is, and the question we should all be asking, is there a need for every one of us to take out our private vehicle and get onto the road? Can we find a better way not to burden the road? Sometimes the road, maybe this road may not have been critical, but there would be other roads in this region. The Himalayan region is also a border region. We will have to build roads for defense and security purposes. Now, should we burden that road with carrying beyond its carrying capacity? It will have to take defense equipment or other things that need to be taken. But do we need to burden it with private vehicles? And I think that is one place where we can make a difference. There is a reason why people keep pushing faster speed, faster, you know, you'll reach your destination faster. Because as people, we are also demanding it. Can we make a readjustment? So yes, we need to be more careful about planning how we do things not in, of course, ecologically fragile places, but and elsewhere. But you also need to look at the other side of the ledger, which is us. You know, how many can honestly say that they will go for a holiday to the hills and they decide to take the train and actually do it a little tougher way instead of just taking a car that takes them door to door? And that is where the problem starts. These roads, because even with the best of technology and everything taken into account, maybe they cannot actually take the burden of so many vehicles. And I think that is something we need to also talk about.
Okay, that's a good point. Let me play out the bites of the people who are there. Let's play them.
जो ट्रैप्ड वर्कर्स हैं, एक परसेप्शन शायद बन सकता है कि शायद वो बड़ी क्रैम्प्ड कंस्ट्रिक्टेड स्पेस के अंदर हैं. ये शायद सरासर गलत होगा सोचना. देयर इज एन एम्पल स्पेस इनसाइड अप टू अबाउट 2 किलोमीटर्स ऑलमोस्ट. और जो अच्छी बात है वो है कि जब ये केव इन हुआ तो उस वक्त जो पावर ग्रिड से जो लाइन अंदर जाती है वो लाइन कोलैप्स नहीं हुई, वो कटी नहीं. तो इनसाइड देयर इज लाइटिंग ऑल्सो अवेलेबल. साथ ही एक 4 इंच का, शुरू में 4 इंच का एक जो पाइप था वो भी अवेलेबल था राइट फ्रॉम द बिगनिंग, बिकॉज दैट डिड नॉट ब्रेक अप, डिड नॉट गेट डिस्ट्रॉयड. सो वी हैड अ लाइफलाइन with the people inside, through which initial rations, survival rations, जैसे अब फौज में होता है, survival rations were pushed through a compressor. जो आपको मालूम है कि टनलिंग के वर्क में कंप्रेशन का काम बहुत होता है. So the compression equipment was there, the lifeline is there, and the compressing equipment being used to push in these essentials. उसके साथ साथ मेडिसिन्स, एसेंशियल मेडिसिन्स, ऐसे क्लोज्ड एनवायरनमेंट में आमतौर पर विटामिन डी, विटामिन सी की खास जरूरत होती है. efforts have been made to push in these items into that space, into the space where these 41 workers are at the moment existing.
But I think the team here have done a wonderful job. It's one of the options. The 900 pipe, which is there, which I've seen, and I'm going to go have another look at this morning. It's by far the best and fastest means to get them in, but it has its technical difficulties, and that's why we're doing multiple rescue missions. You know, we've got mission from the top, missions from the front, mission from the side. We've got the men are coming home. We're just not sure which door they're going to use, right? We're knocking on the front door where the avalanche is, with several ways. We're knocking on the side door. Maybe that will work. We're knocking on the top door. We're knocking on all these doors. Which one opens? Not sure. I'll have to ask.
How many locations you identified for the vertical drilling?
Two. Yeah.
Both are from Silkyara side.
Yep.
Not from
No.
Barkot.
No. There's a perfect. Just so we don't get run over, because we want no one else injured with this. Okay, so everyone off the road. The difficulty is come off, because seriously, this thing will squash you. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to rescue these men. When I arrived here, I said there's 41 men coming home, and there's no one else going to be hurt, and that's the mission. And everyone here from all the government agencies, that's what they're working on, and I am absolutely convinced, and all the agencies are here, they're working closely together, and the mission is clear. 41 men are coming home. When? I don't know when. I don't know if it's 3 days or 4 days or whatever. What I know is they were dancing with Diwali when they went in, and my plan is that they'll be singing Christmas carols at Christmas, sometime between Diwali and Christmas. They're coming home. Exactly when?
But
Not sure.
Will be sure.
I'm sure of the rescue. Absolutely sure.
जैसा कि इन्फॉर्म किया गया 41 लोग अंदर हैं जो सेफ है, उनको खाना की सामान भी अंदर पाइपलाइन एक छोटी उसके तहत मुहैया करवाई जा रही है, बिजली की सप्लाई दी जा रही है, और लॉजिस्टिक की अभी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, उनकी सेफ्टी अभी जो इंश्योर की गई है तो सेफ है, और एजेंसी NHIDCL जो इस पे काम कर रही है, तो जो एक्सपर्ट्स भी अब इकट्ठे हो गए और भी लोगों से इनसे ओपिनियन लिया जा रहा है, तो जो बेस्ट पॉसिबल है उस तरह से हम रास्ता बनाकर उनको बाहर निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। तो इसमें बेसिकली अभी टेक्निकल काम है, जो हैवी मशीनरी और एक्सपर्ट्स का काम है, तो NDRF फ्रंट में नहीं है, लेकिन हमारी इन एक्सपर्ट्स और एजेंसीज के साथ निरंतर हम कांटेक्ट में, हमारी 2 टीम वहां पर डिप्लॉयड है, शिफ्ट से वो इनके साथ वहां पर स्थिति का भी मुआयना कर रहे हैं। दूसरा, अगर इस तरह का एक्सेस पाइप के थ्रू या ड्रिल करके कोई भी एक्सेस बनाया जाता है तो उसमें NDRF किस तरह से टीम हमारी एक्सपर्ट्स अंदर जाएंगे, उनको निकालेंगे, उसकी भी प्लानिंग और ट्रेनिंग और एग्जीक्यूशन ऑलरेडी हम ग्राउंड पर कर रहे हैं।
Dr. Bhattnagar, multiple tunneling is taking place, but multiple tunneling also creates a ripple effect in this fragile system. So, in a way, it's also a sort of a not a risk-free proposition.
Yeah, definitely. But all the preventive measures they have taken, and with this, they are trying to make this multiple escape routes and all these things. So I hope that preventive measures were taken, and accordingly the experts are there, not Indian, even then experts from abroad also, even the DRDO expert, BRO experts, all the agencies experts are there, and moreover all the agencies are working there. Anyhow, as regarding as NDRF is concerned, we are waiting for the pipe to go up to that our target area. As and when our this area will be cleared through pipe, immediately our men will go there inside, and they will take out all the men one by one. And I am hope, because I am having a rich experience about this tunneling system and all these things. So I can say that we will definitely save the people. Need not to worry. And this thing going in a right direction, and everybody is doing their work and their hard job as per their requirement. Whatever the things come, they are making it.
But
So
Dr.
people will
Bhattacharya,
say,
one question, I know it's on the
yeah.
technical side, but a lot of people must be thinking, what about their sanitation, what about their health, what about the oxygen, these are the questions which are coming
Yes.
to people's mind.
Yes,
Ultimately
yes,
you have
yes.
41
Yeah.
people, so what about this sanitation, sort of
this long.
For this long, 41 people inside in a place, oxygen levels, morale, can you please take us through, what is done generally in these circumstances?
Exactly. In one or two cases, I have felt it like that. So, what happened previously? There was one small pipe. Only we were inserting the oxygen and some liquid and all these things from that area. So, what happened in that particular area, which is like a jail, a Band jail. So, continuous air is going, but outcome of that air, this oxygen and other things were not there. And moreover, the CO2 level, H2S level, it was going high. And moreover, your temperature was going very slow, very low. So anyhow, after making this second pipe, so hope is there and a good amount of atmosphere was created. But anyhow, definitely the problem is problem, but we'll have to face, and the people are in a good condition. So keep it in the right direction and way. We should not think adverse. We should think in a positive manner. And due to that second pipe, we got a very good response, and people will definitely be giving a second life, you can say.
Dr.
And very
Bhattacharya,
soon
Dr.
they will
Bhattacharya,
be with us.
is there a way, I know this is a lot of people must have thought, is there a way to scan these mountains like you have those in military, the heat signatures, that you deploy them in different theaters? Is there a way to scan them, see the heat signature, or the mountains are too opaque, obtruse for all these equipments to function?
But nowadays, your DRDO people, they are expert in this thing, and they are going to insert the robot and other temperature and sensing meters and all these things through that particular hole and particular pipe. So they will, I think, will be better to make highlight. But anyhow, in certain cases, our scientists got succeeded and this thing. Regarding sensing, so sensing in such condition is very difficult, but due to that robot, we can achieve the target and we can sense what is the temperature inside, what is the conditions, and what we can do. So through this pipe is a risky job, but anyhow, DRDO is doing well, and they have supplied the equipment, and they will get the good result and all the requirements which you are asking. Definitely we will get all these things. Yeah.
And let me go back to the broader question which Dr. Sudhir Krishna raised, spoke about it earlier also. Do you think that fragile areas in India like Himalayas should have single regulatory authorities, like the Ghats, the Himalayas, the Western Himalayas, or the Eastern Himalayas?
Our this region is on the sandy rocks. So sandy rocks are having the lot of your water stagnation time to time, and in so many places. And these, due to sandy rocks, the water goes inside the rocks, and some in some area this your soil become very muddy form, and with the heavy boulders, and due to that such type of thing happens, which happened here. So but a lot of survey is required of complete. So many scientists and the agencies have given their reports on this issue time to time, and government has taken a serious view about it, but it should be a point which should be taken in future for the agencies like National Highway Authority, state government as well, and other agencies also. This is a valuable point, and they should take care about it. But because Himalaya region, you can't rely. It's a sandy rock, bhai. You can't rely on the like a Maharashtra hard rocks and other type rocks. But here is a risk factor is there. So what best they can do? PMO is taking care about it, and expert teams are there. Our NDMA is there, and other agencies are there. They are continuously watching all these things. So need not to worry. All the government authorities are taking care about it, and future also they will do it. And I hope that will in future such thing will not happen, because we have now bad experience about it. We should not repeat, and we will not repeat. Is my thing, is my view. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Krishna, coming back to you, ultimately most of the guests have agreed on one thing, that there is there should be some sort of a regulatory authority when it comes to eco-sensitive areas.
I think it is absolutely necessary to have a regulatory authority for the Himalayas, and I think the way we are dependent only on the National Green Tribunal, I think, and it's not enough. The National Green Tribunal's hands are full. As we notice that Delhi itself takes a lot of time and attention. It's a very large country. They have benches all over the country. But even so, Himalayas require specific attention. It is a different thing. I think another thing is that we must love the Himalayas. We must respect the Himalayas. Different territories, different parts of India should be respected in their own right. Everything should not be treated equal. And there is a lot of requirement for reorienting the training syllabi also. I have greatest regard for the civil engineers and road engineers. I have best of friends. They have done wonderful job all over my so many years in government. I have seen them doing wonderful job. But are they sensitive to the ecology and the environment? Given a chance, our civil engineer would like to flatten the area, remove all the trees, make the straight, widest possible road. That will be their, ambition, and that will give them pleasure. I think a time has come to rethink our approach to many things. Why can't we preserve the environment while undertaking developmental activities? A rethink to syllabi, rethink to management is required, number one. Number two, the institutions have to look after many things, not merely construction. Here we have seen the NHIDCL almost collapsed in handling this calamity. They were probably good in doing the work, what they were doing. But when the challenge came, did they come up to the mark? So therefore, a lot of capacity building is required. Training and capacity building, not merely in the academic institutions, but post that also. When people are on the job, what is happening around, how the situation is changing, how environment is impacting our developmental efforts. That has to be constantly, both ways interaction. Developmental effort, what impact on the environment, and environmental preservation activities, how they have impacted the development. So very constant interaction at very high level is required. And who will do that? It requires a very big authority, which should be we should not be constrained. Today when this has happened, the inquiry committee has been set up by government of Uttarakhand with some officials. It's not going to take us anywhere. It's not going to take us anywhere. What will be their depth of understanding for this big, huge challenge, where so many agencies of national level are involved in deciding about this project, executing this project? How can the state deputy director and some state director of this and that, how can they handle all this challenge of understanding and examining? So I think it is most opportune time now. It is opportune, not only that, it is not too late, but it's somewhat late. But still we should do it. To have a Himalaya authority, we should be reporting to the parliament.
Which cuts through the segmented approach. It's like one taking care of river, another taking care of road, another taking care of forest. Is that what you're pointing at, sir?
Absolutely. I mean, it should be such that we should look for the Himalayas as an entity, not just as a resource where you can cut through the Himalayas, how to make tunnel. I mean, everybody is having that kind of knowledge, how to make road in the Himalayas, how to cut through make tunnel in the Himalayas, how to develop a big hotel project in the Himalayas. But what is happening to the Himalayas? Are we not proud of our Himalayan region? Should we not respect the Himalayas as our heritage? If it is a heritage, then are we preserving the Himalaya as a heritage? Within the heritage, we have identified heritage like this dham and those tourist spot and so on. Those heritage we have identified, and we are trying to connect those heritage points But like you are trying to miss the whole wood in trying to count the trees. You don't know where how the wood is looking like in trying to handle the trees. So I think it is high time that we look for the Himalayas as an entity which deserves our respect and attention, number one, and that should be the paramount consideration. Other considerations should be subservient to that. We should not be pushing too much on this hydel project or this road project and or this hotel project and this kind of mountaineering activity. Just cuts now today. If we're given a chance, our agencies probably would like to make a straight road to mountaineering also, where you can straight away run to on the top of mountain. That kind of mindset has to change. What the Himalaya is, we should respect that and move our development strategy in line with what the Himalaya tells us. That is very, very important. It is a unique feature. Himalayas are a unique feature to our country. And we will get a lot of respect from world if we protect the Himalayas. I don't think by making these high-speed roads where SUVs can be driven at 120 km an hour to connect one dham to other. I don't think somebody will be appreciating,
People, it's absolutely essential. People don't realize that the health of the northern India, or at least the large part of the India, depends on the health of the Himalayas. Tunnel might be a topic on which we may, we have a discussion on the well-being of the 41 workers inside the video which we showed. But the fact of the matter is that it has triggered a larger debate on the Char Dham issue. But today, right now, the attention is focused on these men, and hopes and prayers are for them that they get to come out in next couple of hours, days, because ultimately, the bottom line of this operation is to get the men back home.
उसको बोलो वॉकी टॉकी अगर पाइप के पास ला सकते हो तो।
ChatGPT. It can generate codes and human-like responses through text, write stories, and do a lot more.
I work in a newsroom with anchors, researchers and scriptwriters, graphic artists, producers,